Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Bailey, also known as CringeMcCringle here on YouTube. I hope everyone has had a great week since the last video, and currently I am in Disney, so picture for future me. But anyways, it is Friday and that means we have to talk about yet another figure in my collection. However, this week it's going to be two of them. This week will be about one of the first two Japan exclusives that I got after I got back into collecting so many years ago. Now sit down and get ready for some controversy, as today we talk about Skids Mudflap Desert Version. This set came to the world via Japan in 2009, courtesy of the movie store Lawson. In order to get both of these guys, you had to purchase Transformers Revenge of the Fallen on DVD. And that was it. You bought a DVD, and you were rewarded with, well, two extremely unnecessary repaints of two extremely weird and controversial characters.
Starting off in robot mode, these two yahoos are wonderful. For the most part, they both look like their regular retail releases, but when you take a closer look, you'll find dust detailing that will make itself more prevalent in vehicle mode. The areas you can see the biggest changes are on Mudflap's doors and on Skid's chest. While I'm not the biggest fan of these guys' design in the movie, I really do love how they come across as toys. Just small, dopey little weirdos with their funky little faces. Both faces have nice paint apps on them, with Skids actually having a gold tooth. The initial mainline release of this guy didn't have a gold tooth until a running change was done to fix that. So, if you have Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Skids, check and see if he has the gold tooth. Other than the paint apps on the faces, there isn't that much painted detail on these toys in robot mode. Just solid molded in colors of orange and green. Not the biggest fan of the green they chose for Skids, but I'm not too worried about it. These guys are very fun to mess around with. For starters, Skids has an auto punch gimmick, and Mudflap has a spring-loaded missile. Skids also has light piping that catches light pretty okay, and it seems as if Mudflap has light piping too, but I just can't get his to work, so can't 100% confirm. Moving on to articulation, they both can look left and right. Arms rotate 360 degrees and out. Bicep swivel. Double elbow bend. Legs go forward and out, and they could go back if it wasn't for the kibble. Knee bend, and feet are on ball joints. The two are not very posable due to their enormous backpacks and ball jointed feet. They sometimes are a pain to balance, and they can't really do much dynamic posing. But let's get these guys into vehicle mode by completing their transformation. Starting with Skids, this is where Revenge of the Fallen took that step beyond the original movie. The transformations of this toy line were absolutely insane. Even for a deluxe class, there is a lot going on with Skids, and he doesn't have the usual carbot transformation. He actually consists of some unique transformation choices, and while being complex, it is still somehow intuitive. That, or I just know the transformation like I know my birthday. And next up we got Mudflap, who basically has the same transformation as Skids, but now it's done in orange. And here we have the twins in their vehicle modes. Respectively, they are the Chevy Beat and the Chevy Trax concepts. And as you can see, they are dusty, but not as dusty as me in the middle of winter. And that is about the only change for these two exclusives compared to their original release. I'm going to look at Skids first because he's my favorite of the two. As I said just a second ago, Skids turns into the Chevy Beat concept, and what I believe would eventually turn into the Chevy Spark. Skids retains most of the same paint and decal work as his mainline release, as he sports a nicely painted front grille that is adorned with a Chevy logo. His hood has also been painted black, and there is some silver paint going across the headlight housing. It's very thin, but you can see it going right around it right there. Mirrors and windows are outlined in black paint, and he still retains his funky decals on the side of the vehicle. On the back, he has bright red taillights, a painted Chevy logo, and a license plate that says Skids. This version of Skids is meant to represent how he looked just before Devastator reveals himself, and right after the single greatest quote in Transformers history. The sand effect has been nicely done, as every panel around the bottom of the car now has this dry, brown texture to it, and in fact there actually is a texture to it. You can hear a difference in the sound of the plastic. I rub my finger on the top of this panel here and you can hear how different it sounds from the door with the dust decaling stuff on it. But to really sell the dust look, the wheels have been molded entirely in the same brown color, which actually reveals some surface detailing that I definitely missed on the original release. And let's take a look at Mudflap. He turns into the Chevy Trax concept, and like Skids, he still retains all of his original paint and detailing from his mainline release, such as the gray painted front and rear fenders. Up front, he's got a painted Chevy logo, he's got painted headlights, and then in the back, he's got taillights, and even the taillight housing has been painted in silver. He has also been given the same sandy brown treatment as Skids, with his deco actually going up a lot higher on the body of the car than on Skids. Other than that, though, there's not too much to say about these modes, other than they're just another great example of how movie toys used to do vehicle modes so well. There is a lot of good detail, and it's clear that the toys are accurate to their source material of the film. And being a car enthusiast, I really like the effort that Hasbro and Takara went through to get this accuracy accomplished.
Now, let's move on to my final thoughts. I really do love these guys, despite them being expensive and really easy repaints. I have lots of fond childhood memories with the twins, specifically Skids. But having the only rare Japanese exclusive that these two would ever get makes me pretty happy. I mean, in terms of having the best and most accurate version of these guys to represent them in the final battle of Revenge of the Fallen, no figures come close. But let's hope that one day Hasbro finally has the courage to do these guys in Studio Series and give them a proper treatment. Personally, have a feeling that they would sell, especially among Bayverse completists, and well, I would probably buy more than one, because yeah. Anyways, I will wrap things up there, and I think next week I'll talk about another Revenge of the Fallen figure, because I gotta get things going. But I do also have a toy show to go to, so maybe I'll record a little bit of that. So, anyways, with that said, I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.